Good morning, everyone. iLEAD presents to you Future Vista, the new age careers. This will help the young minds choose the right career path for themselves and also industries to build new enthusiastic entrepreneurs and a passionate workforce, paving the way for pioneering innovations and futuristic ideas. This is the time to grab the opportunity, follow your passion, and build your career in the field you are most ambitious about.
We welcome you to Future Vista, the new age career session on real estate, building home, building nation, exploring career options in the field of real estate sector.
A career in real estate may not be the first choice for the career aspirants of India, but fortunately, it is one of the most promising sectors of the Indian economy.
Future Vista is also organized with similar aim, that is to provide a comprehensive platform to creative young minds. This session is specially organized and dedicated to those who want to create a career in the real estate sector. We are positive that our esteemed panel consisting of real estate pioneers would help you to find your passion and attain success through right facts, guidance, and suggestions.
Of course, we have an excellent topic to be discussed today, career options in real estate. Let's start the discussion with Bagraji, because sir, your inputs on how do you see real estate career options today?
Real estate today, as you know, our previous speakers have told you, is one of the largest sector in India today. And not only the largest sector, it is largest employment generator as well in India. It was very, very unorganized sector till, the Real Estate Regulatory Act was enacted in May 2016. Now this has become an industry that was, much sought thing about the real estate. So real estate, just to inform you, is catering to over 250 ancillary industries. If real estate is not thriving, those 250 industries are not going to thrive. So I'm just going to tell you, real estate is one sector which is going to have innumerous opportunities for young minds, for future. This is the future of India, I can tell you in short word. If you are just passionate, if you are honest, if you are dedicated, and if you have a mindful skills to negotiate, real estate is one sector which is meant for you.
I kind of started my career in real estate in the country, which is now almost 20 years ago. And if you go back further, you'll find it even more pronounced. Real estate, especially from the outside, was always perceived as an industry of land sharks, an industry where builders would come and build, and once a buyer would come in, he would be, have very little navigation powers. So it was kind of almost an industry which was muscle men of sharks, and this was the perception maybe 25, 30 years ago. Of course, a lot of water has flown under the bridge since, but a few significant things which have happened in the last 5 years, and a few things in the last 10 years is, we've had, as Mr. Bagra mentioned, the Real Estate Regulation Act, and that has been probably the single most significant thing that has happened in the industry, which has organized the industry, laid down the rules of the game in terms of what the developer can do, how the industry should operate in case of any challenges, what is the resolution mechanism, etc. Apart from this, GST has had a significant impact on our industry, because it was an industry where there was an array of taxes, which were all brought down, to come into GST. The third significant thing which happened is FDI, or foreign direct investment, was opened to our sector about almost 15 years ago now, which meant that a lot of institutional organized capital from the likes of endowments of Harvard University and Stanford University, apart from pension funds and things like that, started pouring into the country, and suddenly money from good, clean source, identifiable sources was available. And you know what has happened as a culmination of all of this is that the environment has become very enabled. It's no longer about, you know, making an arbitrage on land costs and things like that. And the focus has come on efficiency. So there is plenty of capital available for the right developers and the right markets. There is rules, rules of the game defined for the industry, which means that fringe players no longer find it beneficial. And what this brings to all of you is that because this industry has now become organized and efficiency has become a name of the game, is that developers are now looking at top talent. That is what is distinguishing one developer from the other. And I think that is what is opening up most opportunities, you know, for all of you. And on this side, we are most excited, you know, to come and meet you, because the next few decades are going to be the decades of talent, and the a good developer from a not so good developer, the distinction is going to be the kind of talent that operates. So, you know, as an opening kind of that's what I would like to kind of leave with you.
I have started pursuing my PhD from the year 2019, and because of RERA, the number of PhD entries or the PhD registration which have been done in real estate, at least in XIMB, have gone up by 20%. People were skeptical because they also thought it's a game, land sharks game, and whatever, it was an unorganized sector. But Real Estate Regulatory Act definitely has brought in regulations and made it, a decorum has set in for sure.
See, there is no point in taking a career which is already overcrowded. And I can give you a lot of examples. Engineering, for instance, today is overcrowded. Engineers are, you must have heard, engineers are working as peon and you know, there are a lot of, so there's no point in going in an area which is overcrowded. Now let's take real estate. There are 20,000 registered builders in Pradip, India. If each one of them hire one person, you require 20,000 people every year. There is not more than 2 or 3 institutes which offers real estate course. At the most, 300-400 students with real estate qualification are passing out. Just see the demand and supply gap. 20,000, and they will not hire one person. They are saying each project they require 10 people. Just imagine 200,000 people are required. Where are these people? I get every year, you know, requirement of real estate students. And when I ask students, they say, no, we are not interested. We want to become broker or we want to start our own business. Many of our students have started their own broking firm already when they are still in college. And they are making good money. So, and take my example. I came from my father was in service and I had no money, nothing. I got into real estate because I thought this is the only business where you can enter and make big money without having any money. My first deal, I made big money, had no money in the bank. Yeah, so this is one business where you can really do great things having no money. I can't think of any other business where you can start a business having no money, no capital. Yeah, this is one business. And I'm not the only guy. I know at least another 100 people who have done like me. And there are some people who are already doing right now. I have done a few hundred businesses in my life. I can tell you, there's no business like real estate. It's the king of business and the business of really kings, you know, that they say golf or, the polo, it's a game of kings and the king of games. Real estate in business is like great business opportunity. And India, another 20, 30, 40 years, real estate will be booming. We have to provide proper housing, proper infrastructure to millions of Indian citizens who doesn't have this. To be able to achieve that will take decades. Yeah, this is a promise we made, our founding father made when they wrote the constitution. Yeah, we are still very far off from that target. So 20, 30 years, you can be rest assured that maybe the, driverless car will take away the jobs of the driver, and maybe the pilots of the flights will be replaced by autopilots, and maybe a lot of work will be replaced by artificial intelligence, and a lot of jobs which are present today will vanish. But real estate is going to stay for the next at least 30, for your lifetime, it won't go. So you can be rest assured, if you get into real estate business, you have a great future. Thank you.
How different is it being a developer, and how different is it working for KPMG? I mean, was it any different? Were they into real estate, or were you into that domain?
So I was absolutely not into real estate domain when I was with KPMG. In fact, I was auditing the likes of Infosys and Wipro, which are, of course, large tech companies. And that too, I was doing a large part of their US GAAP or their, American accounting audits. See, in terms of comparison, I really don't know how to compare the two, for the simple reason that, I was working as part of an organization where I had a defined role, and I work with limited risks and limited upside when I was working in KPMG, and which is one way of, and when one moves into any kind of business and entrepreneurship, you open up the ceiling and the floor both. So risks as well as rewards are unlimited, and you have to define your own levels of motivation and commit, because nobody else is telling you that this is the job for this week. So that, of course, is a larger kind of discussion in terms of whether one is looking at a job as a career, or whether one is looking at entrepreneurship, and happy to discuss that if that's part of the
Bagra ji, I would just like to know from you, as to being so many years, I mean, you've been here since really long. Apart from RERA and apart from the taxes and GST coming in, so how do you see real estate change in the Kolkata front, and what is it that the students need to be, I mean, as Sir said, entrepreneurship is one thing they would like to look at. What should the students, apart from their academic curriculum definitely, what should they be doing, sir?
See, this real estate, as I told you, and Pradip ji also shared, that about 20,000 real estate companies are there in India, and Calcutta is no exception. Calcutta, you can see all through east, west, north side, wherever you see, there are a lot of constructions going on. The best part is that Mr. Apurva will agree with me, that sales which the real estate companies are making now, almost 50%, if not more, is done through the real estate agents or the brokers, which are now, the terminology has changed from brokers and agents, now they call it channel partners. So you become the partner of the company where you're doing the work, you are part of that RERA registration, and is it not heartening to know that you have over 20,000 crores plus brokerages business in India happening every single year. So if 50% if you take as a part of this channel partner sales, so that I'm talking about 50% only, the 20,000 plus brokerage, with 20,000 crore brokerage, which is generating every year in India, is part of 50% channel partner sales. So is it not very exciting that you become a channel partner or a broker or an agent or whatever name you can call it? Number two, can you just name me one single business everywhere around the globe where you have full ownership? You are the boss of your own company, you are the boss of your own self, and then that too doesn't need any investment. Can you name me one single business where you are the boss, you are the owner, and there is a high source of income and you don't have any investment? I don't think you can bring out any single business like this, number one. Number two, the best part in this business is there is no age bar. There is no gender bias. It is open to any, from say, any 18 years, 20 years to 80 years of age, male, female, they have equal opportunities to work on this sector. Thirdly, as I firstly said, RERA has already in place, so you are very secured.
What are the most common mistakes which students make, or we as professionals when we enter we make? What you have witnessed over these so many years, sir?
Mistakes, normally, I have seen what mistakes, not the students, but what mistakes the other builders have made, that I can share with you. I had gone to do a deal, and I found the owner, it was a joint venture. I found the owner was very angry with the previous person who has come to meet him. Why? Because this gentleman was an ardent fan of Mohan Bagan, and the other gentleman, without knowing that he was a fan of Mohan Bagan, started, talking about East Bengal, and that fellow got so angry that he said, "Oi, East Bengal er log amar barite dhukte parbe na." Now, there's nothing to do with real estate, but that is how the world is. So the biggest mistake you can make in any conversation is to open your mouth without listening to the other person first. When you listen to the other person first, you really know what the other person is looking for, what is his likes and dislikes, what you should talk and what you should not talk, because we are not machines, we are human beings. And I have seen so many landlords. And you see, when I started my real estate business, I had just done one project which was also not complete. And I was competing with veteran builders. I can mention also Mr. K.P. Belani, Mr. Jugal Ketawat, Dilip Singh Mehta, so many, they were all seniors. And it so happened when I went, I got the deal, they didn't get the deal. So the reason is that sometimes you talk things which put people off, yeah? And normally I see that I may sound a little, but most of the Bengali owners were very emotional. And you have to actually be very sensitive to their emotions. You just can't, play around, and you should be very careful what you should say and what you should not say. And if you're very, very careful, the chances are you will get the deal and the others will not get the deal. Yeah? So I always say in my soft skill classes, keep your mouth shut. Yeah? As long as it's not required, just don't open it. And in real estate, it is very important because it's better you know at what price the seller wants to sell the property before you open your mouth and offer. If I know that exactly this is the price you are asking, I will always pull you down. If I have said any price, then the chances the other party will push it up. So the person who opens his mouth first loses the bargain. So you should not do that. Yeah, this is a common mistake I have seen still people do. And not only students, the veteran builders also do it. You should not do it.
Thank you, sir. Think before you speak. Okay, for sure. Anybody has any questions, from y'all before we, again, just to break the monotony? Anybody, any student? See, you wouldn't get this chance again. Bagraji, Mr. Salarpuria, Pradip sir on the same dais.
Can I ask a question?
Of course, ma'am.
It means that the students are sometimes very interested that will they getting the opportunity to work abroad. So we know that India rebuild nations also outside. So what is our real estate contribution over there abroad?
See, the real estate business, what we have in India, we don't have abroad. You see, because their economy is shrinking, their population is shrinking. They are already, in Germany, for instance, I lived there for 10 years, and I saw that real estate prices, the way they appreciate in India, will not appreciating in Europe or, for that matter, in Germany. Why? Because there are too many homes and there are few takers. Yeah. And therefore, it's very difficult for an Indian to go and establish. Although I know many Indians who are doing good real estate business. I know a lady who's doing a business in, and certain economy which are flourishing because of the migration which is happening, like Canada, Australia, other parts of the world, where the real estate is growing because of migration which is happening. There are a lot of opportunities are there, and a lot of Indians are involved there. But countries like Germany, which is not allowing a lot of migration to happen, or other European countries where the population is shrinking and there are too much of real estate, there the chances are tough.
No, I think you've covered the gist of it. The only thing I'd like to add is that, see, real estate, because of it being governed by unique laws everywhere, is also tends to be a more local business. And when I say local, it could be local to a country, it could be local to a city, depending on the geography. For example, in the Middle East, because of the smaller size of the country, it tends to be local in that region. So a lot of the developers there tend to operate. And there is so much opportunity in our country today that there is not enough reason for us to go and look outside. If the only reason sometimes we look outside is to get our diaspora, our NRIs who are looking to buy into the country, because they also find that India is a lot more attractive to buy real estate assets today as compared to wherever they are living, whether it is Europe or the US. So that is probably the one biggest reason we go abroad. And the other reason is that we go abroad to look at maybe some talent in terms of architects and things like that, which is also decreasing. But reason is that our country has only started in the last few years seeing large scale developments. So our local architects didn't have exposure to that, which made us sometimes go and seek expertise outside. So the only reason to go outside is some of these, and the opportunity in our country over the next few years is far larger. Foreign capital and foreign talent and foreign companies are looking to come into our country. Honestly, we don't see enough reason to go outside when we have it right here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for the question.
No, it was fabulous. It's been a long time since I've come to a college today, and to just see the energy of the entire group and to see the enthusiasm with which the questions were being asked, it was absolutely fabulous.
Absolutely, without education today, because RERA has come into act, now we have IIRE, where we have certification courses for the real estate agents. So without knowledge, without certifications, probably in time to come you're not going to practice.
The overall experience was brilliant, as when we asked questions, at least the questions were properly answered. Otherwise the students don't even get the aspects and they just rush off. But over here this was not the case.
My overall experience was very good. I got to learn many things. I understood many new aspects by attending this seminar, and it was really good. And now I have a much more clearer focus about my career.
I really like this event. मुझे बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला रियल एस्टेट के लेकर, और मैं अभी अपने गोल्स पे बहुत ही ज़्यादा फोकस हूँ रियल एस्टेट पे.
I have taken my admission in BBA in Real Estate Management. I am really very excited to start my classes here. I really got very much valuable information regarding the real estate sectors and about the investment, and I saw my seniors, they were asking really good questions.
I have taken admission in this college for 2022 batch BBA Real Estate.